We look at what is and what is not evidence in this session so that we can relate this directly to people's work, to people's experiences and what they are doing at the moment, what they are gathering evidence about and what they're using evidence for. Core value of this session is giving folk the opportunity to discuss in some depth with some view to a future where they will be doing things differently about the kind of work they're doing, the kind of evidence they're gathering, what is evidence and what is not evidence, and different ways of looking at how we gather it.
Okay, how do we know that the world is round? Well, when I travel, I don't ever feel as though I'm going round, because if I travel to Australia, I don't feel as though I'm falling off something. So it still feels flat to me.
Yeah. I think this comes out within the discussions that we have around how people have looked at information and evidence in their own work. And because we've got experienced managers here, it is really useful and helpful to have those discussions around and about and with them. I think Dr. Karen McArdle's input is particularly useful in terms of the value of different kinds of evidence, what it is and where we get it from.
So why am I telling you all of this about ways of knowing? It's because gathering evidence is a way of, it's about finding out things and knowing things. And there are ways of knowing that have power and impact, and ways of knowing that don't. And all ways of knowing are a little bit arbitrary. So when we're gathering evidence, we need to think about what it is that we're finding out and how we're finding out about it.
I think I saw attitudes change during this module, particularly around when people were coming into the session to thinking on anecdotal evidence as being anecdotal and not having a huge worth. But when we get to the stage where Dr. McArdle is talking about narrative inquiry, then it really begins to dawn on folk that this is of value, it is recognised as valuable, and it's something, a technique that community learning development practitioners could and should be using.